But speaking of prison, I know what you want to talk about. I know. I don't even have to ask. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Diddy? Did he do it? Did he do it? Did he do it? He didn't do some of it, but some of it he did do. So what now is Diddy going to do, in your opinion there, Brian?
I think Diddy will serve at most a couple of years, based on what everyone is saying. Technically, the judge could say time served, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, they overreached. They didn't get him on racketeering or sex trafficking. Reminder, those were the things that we heard they were going after Vince McMahon for, and they got dropped. And this is
well,
why.
Now I don't know about the racketeering, but it sounds like he had plenty of sex in traffic. From all the testimony, he was having the sex everywhere. But
they were saying the sex trafficking was like him getting a prostitute and bringing it across state lines. Not like, you captured this girl and, wouldn't let her out of your car and took her across the state. So, I mean, it seemed like an overreach on several things, not to take away from him being a nasty motherfucker.
But I just, you've been keeping us abreast of this. I don't mean to be, crass about the thing, but you've been keeping us up to date on this. So I didn't know what your reaction was now that the judge won't let him out, though. Do you think he would run off and just buy his own private island somewhere and just not come back? Rather than even go to jail for 3 years after all of this hoopla?
Well, we'll see how much money he has after all this hoopla, because this is the end of this, but this isn't the end of his court issues. He's getting sued by like 70 different people right now.
No, haven't you ever watched a goddamn James Bond movie? If he goes and buys some island somewhere and just staffs it with his criminal henchmen, then it don't matter whether could you sue Ernst Stavros Blofeld? Auric Goldfinger gonna haul him into court, Brian?
Well, I guess.
Let's see the discovery on that. He'll have odd job, chop your head off.
He wouldn't have to leave based on just a couple of years in jail, but the lawsuits, if there's something there, then yeah, he may pull a Russell Simmons and all of a sudden he's in Bali or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you had as much money as Diddy do, would you go to jail for 2 years, or would you just say, fuck it, I'll just, here, go get me 9,000 bottles of baby oil and 900 hookers and the plane and 10 bodyguards and the guy with the drug bag, and we're going to fucking Bolivia.
No, you don't do that over 2 years. That's the stupidest thing. That wouldn't happen.
How are you okay? Now you're saying that you don't believe Diddy would do a stupid thing.
I'm saying I don't think he would flee the country. I don't think he would flee America over getting 2 years in jail. No, I do not.
I don't think he's looking forward to the freak-offs or freak-outs or freak-out. Yeah, macho man. I don't think he's looking forward to those over the next couple of years.
Well, I think that's
especially because they don't have a lot of lube in jail.
I think that's exactly what he's looking forward to in jail. I think it's going to be the most epic freak-off of all time. Whatever girl he has at that moment, when he gets out of jail, it's going to be off the hook because now everyone knows. He doesn't have to hide anything now. Now it's just like he can literally middle of the day go to Costco and get his baby oil, walk out with the cart and smile for the cameras. He should get a sponsorship. They may be the only ones who will do business with him. See, that's the big thing. How's his business going to repair? How's his business ever going to...
That's what I'm saying, Tom. And while he's got this money, fuck the lawyers. He ain't going to write that last check. They're going to take off from the airstrip in the middle of the night in the Astroglide Express, and you're never going to see him again. He's got all the money on his private island and etc. And he's going to be a Bond villain. He ain't going to put up with going to jail and no more. No more. That's what... You know what? Here's what I think about this. After all of this big buildup, I thought we were going to find out he was like the goddamn international fucking ring of goddamn something or other. I think it's a heel program. I think not only is this guy a fucking weirdo and a creep, but everybody that was working for him through all this and dating him and or anybody that happened to be his best fucking friend all got what they deserve. And I don't care about them. We got bigger fucking issues going on in the world, and whether Diddy do it. We know who the other motherfucker is that's doing it. Haul him into court and save some people around the world instead of Diddy's immediate goddamn social circle. That's what I think.
And the RICO thing was ridiculous. You're not going to get him for RICO for this. They treated him like John Gotti for this, for prostitutes and girlfriends that he beat up, and that's awful. But that wasn't even what he was on trial for. And the prosecution, from what you read, was presenting stuff like, this is how awful it was. This is what he did. She had no way out. There was nothing she could do. And then I think it was either Cassie or the other one where it was like, yeah, the prosecution saying how badly she wanted out. And the defense is like, here's a text where you say, I'll take on any 3 men you pick. You pick them. So, I mean, like the jury's sitting there and it's like, it seems like
conflicting testimony, I believe.
Yeah, bad guy, people who made decisions on their own because they wanted to please this bad guy and then they regret it and you can't blame them. And some things, who knows how consensual they were based on what you heard, but
also can't get out of the okay. There's a lot of people can't get out of a relationship. They had a fucking guy arrested here in Louisville for chaining his goddamn girlfriend to the floor while he was gone, and he's hauled into court now. But you can't, when you're with an international superstar and people taking pictures of you and video of you, just say, hey, can somebody come over here and get me? I'd like to leave. Fuck you, can't fucking leave at that point, for God's sake.
Well, yeah, I think he was also paying her rent, but that's the Diddy case.
Well, goddamn.
But, the Vince McMahon stuff, again, we're still talking about the Janelle Grant thing. It's a civil case. Apparently, there's no fear of any federal case, and based on what we had heard, again, sex trafficking, and what just happened with this Diddy trial in front of a jury, you can't see how they would get Vince for that. Not to say he's not a nasty, dirty motherfucker, but
I don't know if these prosecutors can get anybody for anything at this point. I think they ought to call Stephen P. New, see if he can give him a fucking tutorial.
Apparently, Stephen P. New, according to an email we received before the show, is getting bombarded from all over the world with legal requests.
Yeah, there was
all over the place. People are like, I know a lawyer.
We might have to see if we can get it legally cleared to fucking mention on next week's program what the contact with Stephen P. New was this week from someone needing assistance. But anyway,
you think Diddy can make a comeback? I mean, can anyone make a comeback from what has come out from the video of the beating in the hotel in California?
Well,
to the trial.
Anybody can make a comeback from anything at this point. Just for the sake of, if somebody is the most detestable cretin on the face of the planet, somebody else will like them for it. So you could come back with some people from anything, or possibly make people that are never interested in you before, oh, now he's okay, because people are fucking weird. So just a lot of people knows who he is. That's horrible.
A lot of people knows this, yes.
A lot of people don't think it be like it is, but it do. A lot of people know who he is. That's all he needs to make money if he wants to choose to do that.
If you were a porn studio, would you offer him money to direct based on the notoriety of him being all into filming it and directing the stars of his little private film, his girlfriend and whatever hooker they got?
Well, but no, because think about this. What goddamn porn studio could afford him at he ought to, that's the thing. He could just take over the porn business. He could open one as, hey, I'll show you how to do it right. And people would be buying that shit all over the fucking place.
Well, I think we just booked his comeback, unfortunately.
On VHS? Holy mackerel.
Well, I don't know about that.
He'd make a fortune.
I don't know about VHS, but
he could set up his own store, like Diddy's Diddle Den, and he could sell all of his porn and his lube.
I think there's another hearing coming up because they're going to try to get the sentencing moved up. What do you think about the trial being over now and then the sentencing being in October?
Well, I also think he's probably pissed the judge off enough, and he said, oh, I'll just let this fucking guy sit there for a while and see if he likes it. You can't think that anybody is necessarily like, oh, this poor fucking innocent creature has been so mistreated. So they're probably just, yeah, let's let him sit there for a while.
I was watching CNN for the live coverage because they had like 2 different reporters in front, and then they had a reporter inside who could run out and give the reports. They had it fully staffed, and the people outside the courthouse started building up as the word of the verdict came in. And I told Suzanne what was on the TV when she walked by. She didn't believe me, and then the woman repeated it. The supporters started spraying baby oil in the air. When they said not guilty, they all started just spraying baby oil on each other and in the air. So someone said, Diddy may get off. Let me get the baby oil and go down to the courthouse. That's insane. That's crazy fandom.
Well, there you go. And boy, not only crazy, but greasy.